Craig Archer from MovieWeb. How are you today?
Doing good. Thank you for that.
Well, it's great to connect with you, and I love this series, and I love you in it, and I love Vince Vaughn in it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So I understand you and Vince ate at some Cuban restaurants
Yes.
in the area. So can you talk about what it was like offset? From my understanding, you showed Vince Vaughn around and
Yeah.
you ate food and
Well, we were in the Keys, when you kind of shoot these locations where we stay at, day in and day out eating the same menu kind of can get a little redundant. So I was leaving the hotel and I ran into him. I was like, oh, we're going to go have this Cuban restaurant that I, know that's really good. He's like, oh, I'll come along. We had this steak sandwich. It's called un pan con bistec. That's very common in South Florida. It's a very main Cuban dish. And took him over there to this little hole in the wall on the side of the road in the Keys. He loved it so much that the next day he bought it for the whole crew. So he gifted it, he brought the restaurant 2 set because it was so great. And those are kind of the moments that we had, that brought everyone kind of together and made it such a fun environment to work in.
I love that. I love that. The food sounds good too. So finish this sentence. Working with Vince Vaughn is like...
Working with Vince Vaughn is like the funnest roller coaster you've ever been on. It's so unpredictable. There are so many twists and turns, and you got to be ready to just take it. Because there's definitely some moments where it was very on script the whole show, but we were allowed to kind of improv. And that was the funnest part because of the things that kind of just came out, and you had to kind of match and kind of continue the scene, You just got to leave the scene open at the end and see where it kind of goes. So it made it for very unpredictable but fun work days.
I love that. Now, when you came into the project, did you have discussions with Vince beforehand? Because you two have, so many scenes together. A great ally for his character. But how was the chemistry when you started rolling and getting into it?
I came into this job where they were already working on it. So when I came in, it was just go time. But one of the things that we were very fortunate was that we got along so great. We had instant chemistry, just Vince and I in general. So it was a lot of fun. And I think for our role, it was really nice because when we had our first day, it was really the scene of us first meeting. So it all kind of it was in the cards. It was just perfect. So we were able to kind of bring that new energy and that kind of, spark of first meeting on camera, it being the first time we met.
Right. What do you think fans or audiences will be surprised about when they dive in? Because I was expecting one thing and it totally blew me away. It became something else entirely.
I think one of the things that the fans can kind of expect from this is just, to go on a ride. This story has so many twists and turns. There's so many different storylines that kind of blend into each other. You have these episodes that end in these cliffhangers, and then you also feel like who did it or what's going on, but then it kind of throws you for a loop, but it comes together at the end. And I think they're gonna be very satisfied with the storytelling in this, and I think the characters are so much fun. Everyone really brings their A game to this and creating these amazing, unique, quirky characters, and it's gonna be a fun ride.
I love it. Thank you for that. One last question for you. I know early on you were, when you began your career, you were handpicked by Jennifer Lopez to become the spokesmodel for a fashion line. So how do you feel that changed you, and what advice did J-Lo give you at that time?
Being chosen to kind of just do this modeling job, it brought a complete change to my life. I wanted to be a midwife. I was in school, I was in high school, I was working at a hospital at the maternity ward. I was in between being a neonatal nurse or a midwife, doula. I was going a completely different way, and that kind of just changed the whole trajectory of my life. And it was kind of amazing though, because I feel I kind of bring that to every role too, where you just gotta go with it, and see what the world and the universe has in store for you, and it's not that I got any advice from her or anything like that, but being able to be catapulted into another career and not being afraid to jump into it and go full force on it, I think allowed me to learn that I can do anything as long as I just stay at it and keep going. So I think it set the tone for my life and my career to just step outside of my comfort zone and allow and trust that the universe, has this, has something planned for me.
Indeed. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for your time and congratulations on this.
Thank you.